wonder if it's on. Hello? I'm testing audio. Wonder if it's on. Hello? I'm testing audio. Oh, okay. Well, seems to be working. I wasn't prepared to go live. Like, that wasn't the goal. I was just trying to set up the new system. And I think this is live. Right now, no one's obviously on because this is for members only. Is this something I can change, or do I have to, like... Okay. Can I do... I'm not sure. I don't know. Honestly. I think this is only on... Details, people, visibility. Can I change it? Oh. Is it? No, live. I wish I could tell. Okay. Oh no, my computer's really being loud. That's awesome. Okay, everybody, I am testing this right now. I have a new streaming system, and so I'm trying to test how this is working, but I don't know that it's actually working. So you can let me know that you can hear me. There's a really big looks like delay or buffering issue. I'm not even sure. So since my phone, this is where people could help me. So my phone is set up and I'm using through OBS. But it still feels like there's a buffering issue, and I did take away latency and buffer, so I don't know. I'm very tired. It took me a while to get this set up, and now we wait. And I also think this is public, so like anyone can come on and say hello, which may not be what I do like usually, but oh no, I hear something over there. Okay, hold on one sec. Go ahead and get ready for the chat. Oh no! You watch everything fall. I don't know that will come back. This whole setup is so bad. So, well, yay. It took me so long to get set up, and it just crashed and burned. It all fell. Now it's absolutely crooked. Not in the same spot as it was. Life. Okay, so this is... I'm thinking of doing different live sessions just for fun, and I'll come on, especially as, you know, less people are on here. This is sort of my version of social media, and I am testing. This one is really to test sort of a setup. I haven't been liking my setup originally when I started this, and then I kind of set up over here, like in my couch area, so I could be a little more comfortable. But with that, I don't have any like lighting or I mean, you can even see right now there's like this big shadow here because I just have no lighting set up here and nothing's good. I have a desk light, like one of these old desk lights set up, like just there. So I don't know what I'm doing as far as that goes. But so I got a new system. I mean, not new, like OBS. So I use OBS in work stuff, but I don't use it in my own home. You know, like I've never recorded in my house. So this is what I'm testing now is the streaming and how this works with OBS. I know it's going to be quiet. I know that was something like, you know, when more people are in here, I can actually see. But it does look like, can I see my stream? I really can't. It doesn't show you any settings inside of YouTube. So here I am. If I turned up my volume here, it's pretty much as loud as I can make it. But I know it's going to be quiet, and my iPhone's not picking up audio, so I don't know if I can fix that. I just don't want to deal with external mic stuff. And my computer fan is going so crazy right now, probably with, I guess the setup doesn't, I felt like with an external camera my computer should have to process less, but I guess it has to process more. I'm not using wireless, I'm using a wired, so I don't know. Let me know your thoughts on that. But that's what I'm doing right now, is trying to figure out this system, the best way to set it up. And I'm thinking I'd like to come on sporadically. I'm thinking Saturdays obviously are an easier day for me. My camera, like, to me, wanting to see what's happening is over there, but the camera's right here. Just a bit annoying. I don't think there's a way for me. Oh, I don't like that. I don't like that OBS. I don't think there's a way for me to see. Okay. But if I want to do this on Saturdays, or, you know, I'm thinking Saturdays for like an hour, I could probably do like lunchtime type things as well and come on. And again, I'm just trying to do more of like what I would think maybe I can be consistent with in a social media vein. It's fun for me to kind of come on here, whether I'm talking to myself or people are talking with me. I'm sure it's more fun with people talking. It usually is. But I have no problem coming and talking to myself. So I want to make sure that my system, I can just sort of set it up and turn on everything. And the last system I was using was not good, and I couldn't even use the recordings later. So I'm hoping that this one looks better. So Camo Studio is the one I was using prior. It was free, and I could use, like, OBS is free as well. The version I'm using right now is professional, but that's just for work, and I didn't want to use that one. So I was using the Camo Studio originally, but it like kept adding things. Like, this has a filter too, but it like kept adding these weird color filters, and like, I'm really pale, and I guess it didn't like it. Like, it did not like how pale I was. You know what? I've gone in the sun and I don't tan. It doesn't happen. I will freckle, and I have freckles, but I don't tan. Anyway, so the other system I was using, it like wanted to color correct me, and so any sort of touch up anything, it would like, it would add color to my face and make me like yellow. I felt like I actually was like, am I jaundice? Is this an issue? But no, it was just the way that the system was reading, and like its touch up thing and everything, like it just decided. Oh, also, like, I couldn't use any I don't mind a smoothie now. This has that. This is doing that. Thank you, OBS. I like it. I'm okay with this. I'm not gonna lie about that. But the other one, it was like it was smoothing the smooth out the filter. Like the Zoom has, that any program has, was it was blurring out my nose, which I was like, oh, I mean, it hurt a little. Tear. It clearly felt like the blemish that had to be dealt with was my nose. Just my face in general was blurred right there. It was like all a blur, and I was like, okay. So obviously, the Camo Studio thought I didn't have enough color, and I didn't. Yeah, I mean it is what it is. Also, that was when every time I recorded, a new feature would come up. So you'll notice a lot of the recent, like, last few videos I've done have been, except for the last like one I did. I think I did it better. I didn't use the bad Camo Studio version. But you can see there's random things, like the one of the times I felt like it was a good video. The entire time my hand, like, everything's glowing because there was a spotlight turned on, which I looked everywhere. It doesn't look like OBS has the spotlight crap. And it also, like, would turn on this you might know what this is because I don't use Snapchat, but it was the Snapchat ghost guy, and it was a filter, so I guess it's like they partner with it. Anyway, it's called Beauty, and it would be clicked on, and I don't know, I'm sure I clicked on it. It's not like it just magically clicked on. I'm sure I clicked it, but it was the subtle thing that it was changing. Like, I couldn't tell because, again, where my camera is, where my screen is, like, what I'm looking at isn't necessarily the camera, right? I don't know exactly what's happening the entire time. I try to set it up well, and then I try to pay attention to what's happening, and it was causing my eyes to, like, it made my eyes, like you can see my eyes, like, they're not dark color, like, it was making my eyes like a black, like really black, and like with these really bright, like, which I have now because there is a light right there. But, oh, okay, I did not need to look straight into the light. But it was making my eyes like this weird beady black with a bright light. Like, and I guess it called it Beauty. That was a Beauty filter. Yeah, which I'm not sure what it was. It was trying, I guess, make my eyes look more glassy, but I felt like it made me look like I was, like, not focused or drunk or something. Like, it didn't look right. I don't drink, so it's funny when I see it, but that would be what I would assume. Like, just like my eyes looked a little lazier and like weirder. And so there's a few of them where my eyes look kind of dark. I feel like I look demon possessed a little bit. And then there was actually the alien video. I wasn't wearing contacts, and I think it was doing that at that video. So I'm not wearing contacts, so you're already seeing my eyes not focused, which is funny. If I decide to not wear contacts, and I usually would just have my glasses on or something, but I just felt like I wanted to do a quick video, and I didn't feel like putting on contacts, so I just took off my glasses and I started talking. And I realized afterwards when I was editing it, I was like, I can't do that again because I look like I'm not focused. I look a little cross-eyed. I look a little like my eyes are tired, maybe strained, maybe I'm not, like, fully awake. Like, I don't know. It definitely looked like, you could tell. So, good to know. Good to know. These are the things you learn as you go. So yeah, that's a fun thing I'm learning. So the Beauty filter, I don't prefer it, and I don't know why it thinks beauty, like, I'm not sure. Like, I think my eyes are fine. They're just, they're like a khaki. I can't see what you see. So I don't know. My light's here. Maybe you could see. I'm assuming my eyes are in view here. I'm, like, not looking at that, so I can kind of see. So anyway, I don't know why that was if it's just the glassiness, if it like just it wanted to make it really have the glare on it, and maybe that was why it thought it was, I just don't know why it was called Beauty, because that was the thing it changed. So fun. Yeah, and Spotlight makes like a weird halo around you, which I did actually realize recently as I was working with a client, and we were working on their lighting, and we were doing an overhead light, and don't do lighting, so when I'm watching and dealing with their lighting, I notice a difference, but they're specialists, right? There's people who do lighting. Anyway, so they suggested doing a headlight, kind of like backlit, but then also like an overhead light, and it makes a difference. So right now I'm like the overhead light I have, which I never use. I think it's like maybe a New York thing. I only use my lamps because in New York I lived in apartments and they never had overhead lights. I always had to bring a lamp. Yeah, like the day I moved in, it would be completely dark if I didn't have a lamp. So so anyway, there's an overhead light, but that's like not a flattering like the type that they were doing. But it really did seem to it made a lot of difference. So if like you don't mind, you can see my gray hair, my strip of gray hair right there. That's just I don't know. It's where it decided to be. So yeah. Anyway, so this is a fun setup. It's gone for 16 minutes, which I wanted to do a little bit. Right now my CPU is at 15%. It's not great. It was at 3. I preferred that, and I still felt like that was high, so I wonder what this is using. But also, like, I didn't close anything, so I guess I could have done that. That might have helped. But this is just giving me a good idea. It shows that no frames were dropped, and the FPS is 60, so I'm okay with everything happening here from what I can see. But then the next step is stopping this and looking at it afterwards and seeing how it sounds and what it works out, because obviously I'm using this mic. I think this mic. I don't know where it is. It's somewhere. Is it up here? Somewhere. I don't know. It's over there. So I mean, I could plug in and actually you could hear me and not have the fan and stuff. So that might be something I work on the next time. I just didn't really want to focus on audio because I'm really picky about audio. And the audio is not good in here. I'm not acoustically ready for this. I don't have any of my XLR mics ready. And I'm going to have a Shure over there. I don't know. I just did it like I didn't want to set anything up. This is not for me. So if I start working on audio, I might just get too picky, too confused, like too focused, too in the weeds on it. With lighting, because I'm not a lighting person, there's only so much I can do or know to do to fix it. But with audio, I mean, I could rabbit hole down that because this is not good. This is not acceptable. So if I go into why and all the aspects of the unacceptableness of it, I think we would be here for a while. So anyway, so 18 minutes in, I'm pleased. I don't know how my chat's working in here with the OBS, so that will take people chatting. I honestly might have it set up so you'd have to be like a member to chat. My bad. So that's another thing I'm working on. I don't really know how to change that after it's already started streaming. But I don't know, let me know. And we're gonna figure this out. So most of my like radio talk radio days, I'm just gonna call it like talk radio time. I don't know. Just get on and chat. Like I have things to talk about. Today I really have been focusing on it, and I'm not sure if I'm gonna record that video. My channel might confuse people. It confuses me because I use it really as social media. I'm not using it as a brand. I mean, I'm producer Elena. That's like what I'm called. I don't know. I've been called producer Elena since my radio days, so that's I guess my brand. But I'm not like branding for a certain celebrity or like commentary like influencer status. I don't have like a specific topic. If I really want it to be, this is, what I tell people and what I do for people. Oh, look, I found that. I was looking for something. That's right over there. My cat likes to slap pens and stuff away, but there it is right under the table. I was missing my pen. I don't even know what I was saying now. What was I saying? Yeah, this is good. It's good quality content. Oh yeah, so like my channel, I don't do it to be like, if I was gonna tell someone how to be successful, I wouldn't tell them to be doing what I'm doing. I mean, I would tell them, yeah, consistency, and I've been trying to at least post once a week, and so I've been okay with that. I would, tell them to stick with certain days and certain appointment times, and talk about the same things. And what the algorithm wants you to do is really create kind of the same video over and over, pretty much. Basically, they just want that formula over and over, like, for your channel. And so you when I started, and I was only doing like really, like, I would do Bible stuff because I was doing it for some friends and stuff that weren't local. Sorry. um like, my eyes were watering. And I was doing that, so I did a whole lot of online kind of lessons where I would record it with the meeting, and then I would just post it online. So you see some of my earlier videos, that's the quality of them, as well as it was just Zoom recordings to a group, and then I would just cut it up in little pieces. So it would be hours of like a meeting that I'm doing with people, teachings, and then I would end up putting it on just on YouTube. So that was initially when it started. I'm wearing shorts, by the way, people. Get your mind out of the gutter. Sorry, I was trying to see. Every once in a while, my cat will start meowing and pushing at the door, so I'm trying to be aware of him. Okay, so yes, I am wearing shorts, by the way. Yeah, so it wants me to just like talk about the same things over and over. And, I tried that. That's fun. I can do that. Like, that's when I was doing a lot of the Ask Men stuff, and that's fine, but like, you guys aren't interested indefinitely. Like, people move on. So yeah, there was a big group of people, hundreds of comments, whatever, watching all my, feminist rant, anti-feminist videos. And that's fun. And I had a whole lot of time around the holidays. Well, more time, I guess, whole lot for me, to start doing that. So I wanted to start posting more, and that was kind of the topic that everyone was talking about, and it was fun to engage with. But then, as people do, they've found other things that they're doing, other people they like to watch. They didn't, so they haven't been coming back regularly. I have a lot of subscribers, but YouTube doesn't show my videos to them. So, I mean, basically, I'm getting, I could spend more time doing anti-feminist stuff, but that's not the only thing I think about. But it's all YouTube wants to promote. So videos that I do talk about anti-feminist stuff, they tend to do better on my channel. And y'all seem to comment more, which is great, and I like to do stuff that you find interesting, but at the same time, like, I can't do that every day. Like, I'm not triggered by feminists every day. It happens a lot, but not every day, surprisingly. I'm not angry. This is not an ad. So I can't keep that sort of content, which is what it wants it to do. So I started with the Christian stuff, and then I randomly had a rant about dating and women, and just like what I was seeing on social media, and that kind of spurred this women talk, and that was fun, and it is fun, and I still will talk about that stuff. But it also kind of spurred me to do more, so that's when I stopped just doing recording my Bible video, my Bible studies and things, and posting them, which is originally what I was doing. And I started doing commentary, and that's when this sort of evolved into some sort of my version of social media. This is my vlog. So I guess if I have something I feel like chatting about, it's like my diary to the world. I'll chat about it. And YouTube doesn't like it. They don't. YouTube wants me to only talk about Christians, like Bible verses, which, okay, I will do that a lot because I do enjoy discussing that. I do enjoy analyzing that, but this isn't like a Christian, like, daily devotional type of chant. Like, I'm not that gal. Like, that's not me. I don't like that stuff, and I'm not, didn't know. Like, so I'm not a Christian influencer. I don't think a lot of Christian influencers were like me, and I don't think a lot of maybe more traditional Christians would agree, like me or agree with me. I read the Bible, and I don't make stuff up. I'm try to be really very much Bible based only. If you have a tradition that is in your church and it's not in the Bible, the canons, I won't think it's biblical. So that, I think, keeps me from going to a lot of churches, or I guess participating in that community. I don't think they don't like me. They don't agree with me. But I definitely don't agree with what they're doing. So, and the weird thing is, like, I'm definitely have a lot to work on. I have a lot of things that Jesus is fixing, right? Like, I have a lot, and I'm good on that. But so I don't need to be in a place where everyone's perfect. I'm definitely not. Uh, and I know I don't speak correctly always, and people don't think I speak in love. I do. But, if you research Smith Wigglesworth, people didn't like him either. Okay? So people didn't like Lester Sumrall. I mean, the minister that I would call my minister, my pastor, is Curry Blake at JJLM. People, I mean, I don't think he has a reputation of being harsh, like Smith Wigglesworth, who punched people, but he didn't punch people. He punched the devil in people. He punched the sickness, right? That was just, people got in the way, and that's what he said. So I believe my content is Christian because I'm Christian, but I don't, and I will talk about spiritual warfare. I talk about the spirit realm, demonic and angels and all of that stuff when it's relevant. Like, I have a video about aliens because everyone's talking about aliens. It's not something I sit there and chat about all day, but everyone's talking about it. And my 2 cents, yeah, your alien encounter was a real encounter. It just wasn't with aliens, it was with demons. And you look at Greek mythology, it's all the same. They really were Greek gods. They just were gods. They were demons. But they existed, the exact ones that they described, and they interacted with the world and with the Greeks, and they engaged. And same with the Rome, like the mythological creatures that we smart people think like, oh, they were just making them. No, they were really interacting with the Egyptians. They were interacting with these spirits. They just were evil. They were demons. Anyway, so that's a whole different video. So as you can see, I have a lot of different topics I like. I'm really interested in AI and technology and how that affects generations, but I'm also really interested in sociology and how people relate to each other, and how we relate to ourselves in the systems, and how we interact and how we grow as a group in that community, how we engage with the individual, and don't hold back the group. It is very complicated system to figure out, and so the world is fun to analyze, and there's so many angles. And I feel like, just like I really don't like being putting other people in these boxes because they're so different, and you might like this aspect, but then you also like this stuff over here. My mom, she really likes watching like Christian stuff. She likes watching health stuff, like stuff for body healthy eating and different types of things like that. But she also will watch stuff about Meghan Markle. So she likes some of that gossip, about what's going on with Meghan Markle and the royal family stuff. So I think, and I'm not a big, I don't follow that stuff too much. so you can just kind of see everyone's different. And so I think with YouTube, it's not gonna push my stuff. You know, sometimes I'll talk about entertainment. It doesn't seem to wanna show people that. And so I'm just literally coming on and doing what I want because YouTube will not show my stuff to people. I can work there. I have a video that is actually like I have thought about it for a long time, and so I like wrote an essay and I recorded and I wrote this like outline this essay and then I like spoke about it. It wasn't exactly reading an essay, but like this dissertation. I don't know what it would be called because I have another one that it's like just this conceptual outline of like this concept. And so that is what was happening in my brain that I've been working out and writing down and making notes on for months and months. And so I finally was like, I think I can wrap this all together. And so I just recorded that one with the AI, and then I just had this picture in my head. I produce stuff sometimes, so I just felt like producing that one a little more and just creating some B-roll and adding it because I'm talking about AI. It's fun to use the tools and stuff to help create this video, and to use visuals and stuff because what that was is talking about Uncanny Valley, and I felt like that concept is really intriguing. And I know that doesn't necessarily fit with maybe a rant. I know some people were saying, someone was like, this was a strange meandering presentation, is what one comment said, and I was like, I guess that's fair in a way. Like honestly, most of my content is meandering, so I'm not sure that it's different than anything else. That one might have been different because it was less meandering, but it was a something you had to pay attention to. It wasn't a superficial kind of topic that you could just not a lot like you'd have to really unpack where I'm going with it, and not everyone wants to do that. That's not I don't always want to do that. So that was one, and I have another one that I actually was thinking about doing today, and I don't know, then I just decided to do a live instead. But I have like a 25 page, like, it is an essay, but I wouldn't read it as an essay. It's more of an outline. But I wrote it kind of like as this essay manifesto, just kind of coming through this concept of the one-eyed man. It's actually the idiocracy concept, which I did mention this several weeks ago, that I was doing this and thinking about this. But it's the concept of the one-eyed man is king in the world of the blind, and it's a competency crisis topic, which I did a smaller video that's a little layer of that yesterday. So that's what I released yesterday. But this one is really about the generational issue of obviously we have generations like millennials, Gen Z, Gen Alpha, Gen Beta. We have these, however, I feel like those are inadequate to really discuss when you're breaking sociologically down how the world is evolving in certain time frames. Like I think the Industrial Revolution probably is a good example of a time frame that should have been broken down more clearly generationally because of the rapid changes that were happening. I felt like there were a lot of micro generations rather than major big generations. So I might be in a millennial or Gen X type of generation, but where am I relating to is very different from young millennials, right? Like I am barely a millennial. I'm a Gen X, actually. If you look at original generational divide, the original ones, like they all said 1984 was the last of the Gen X, and then they try to add Zennial. Like no, whatever. Like stop moving the goalpost, okay? But either way, I feel like even that Gen X and like they're not super efficient at describe. They're lazy when you're really trying to describe this generation that's dealt with this adaptation into our user-friendly technology that we have today. Like it's a very similar concept to when certain major discoveries and revolutions were happening that completely changed the face of work, the face of how we interact with the world, because machines and what we can utilize, how we interact even with our bodies with the world, because now all of a sudden we can do more with our bodies because the machines are taking heavy loads off of us. These concepts. So I've been thinking about it so long about the competency crisis and the cause of it. Who's responsible? Why it's being caused? Like financially, like where is this going? Because we are hitting a financial corporate collapse. It's happening, and I have this whole theory about it. I've even created like different micro generations. I've just defined them as alpha tech operators. And what I'll get into that in that video one day. I don't know that I'll do like B-roll and visual stuff like I did with that last AI video. That one was more fun because of what the topic was. This one might just be more of the talking head rant, because again, that's what the AI video was. I sat here, I knew where I wanted to go. I had my note of like, this is the first aspect, second, third, up through to the end, so I could come full circle. And I actually recorded 2 hours of that. That was a 2-hour rant, okay? And I did cut it down, I believe, to like 57 minutes. So well done on me. I was really happy and really proud of that. It took me like 4 days. It wasn't like I spent an excessive amount, but most of my videos I record and cut them up, and like within an hour from from starting recording to posting it. Like it's literally, I don't do anything. I don't prep it. I just come on. And so this one, I had a concept and I already had outlined it for weeks, just the idea. And so, yeah, I did talk for 2 hours, and then I cut it down and cut it down and cut it down because I really wanted to be concise and just get to the point. And I re-recorded a few things, like my voice, and I tried to do that a few spots, and then I created visuals for everything, and I edited it together, and then I sourced royalty-free music and put the music behind it, and even sound effects and different things depending on what mood I wanted. Like, I was really trying to have fun with it, and then source some of the visual explanation because I was talking about a visual and mental and like I felt like that was more of an appropriate reason to do that. But I don't see that motivation happening. And what's actually really funny, the whole video wasn't going to be that. I made the front one, and I spent like a whole day on that, probably. Like, it was like a Saturday just for fun. That's what I do for fun. And what you don't know is like that intro, like I had recorded it, this like imagine that this man was running, just trying to get you into a physiological feeling of understanding this physiological thing that's happening, not mental, like logical, but just the physiological of what Uncanny Valley does. That was the connection with that. I didn't feel like it was meandering. It was very clearly a point being made, but whatever. But when I did make that, if you listen, like me thinking about it, like this, that was fun for me. So I actually created that first, and then thought, I'm just gonna do the whole video kind of fun like this, and just have fun with audio and stuff. So you can kind of see some of the stuff I like to do. I didn't spend a lot of time, so it's not like well produced, but at the same time it's still fun. It was fun to put together, to get like the heavy breathing of the guy running, and to have like the sound effects of the mud and the walking in the mud, the running in the mud, and like the trees and stuff, and then the rain sound effects, the rolling thunder, and then the big cracks of thunder. Those sound effects I had to add separately. Even the rolling thunder, to create that, I had to do that separately. To add the rain inside versus outside, then like when the door swings open and the sound effects for the door, and then it slowly creaks shut, and like just the footsteps, like these things that you really can't fully hear, and then the heartbeat and the heart monitor, because I was moving the tech concept of like what we're picking up digitally, like, so I was really trying to do something conceptually with that intro, and then adding the music to break it, to add to the physiological aspect, that vibe, the aesthetic vibe, but not just a typical cinematic thing, but more of like a rhythmic thing to try to get your heart to start beating in that way, so that you could then move into the rest of the thing with a higher adrenaline, a little more adrenaline, and kind of keep it up. And then the pacing, I tried to keep the pacing up as well, visually speaking. And so again, it was just a lot of this stuff that I do here is just fun. And then like I test out like how it is. Sometimes I'll put like how it works. Sometimes I'll put my own captions. Sometimes I won't do any captions. Sometimes I'll put captions all the way through. Sometimes I'll do SRT specifically, and that seems to not matter if I add my own SRT file. So I like to test all that stuff. So anyway, point of all of this will probably go to a member only video afterwards, is just kind of giving the ideas of like what this channel might be. And you can stick around. The membership I find the most interesting part. Now the problem with YouTube is like I would love to have a membership that I could just say like free. Like I would love to have one that says join free. I don't have that option. So I think I might have to do like a Patreon to create free memberships. But the membership, and I know like some people, they're like, create a community before you do the membership. I mean, the membership isn't for monetization. The membership is to create a community, is to create people who are committed, invested into like a space. And I have plans. I have a profitable creator club, things where we can be partners. That one's a tier that's not existing yet, but I do have it hidden. And that's a larger tier you have to apply for, but that will be for like partnering as far as creators, content creators and things, producers and things, that we'll be able to start kind of a club together to help network and stuff. So if you look at LinkedIn, if you look at any of those places now, they're just a bunch of people trying to go viral, and it's not helpful. So I want that to be a part. There's a membership of that aspect, but I also just want it to be people who are like-minded, who can share ideas, but also who might not agree with everything. I have a lot of people who watch who aren't Christian, and I think that's good, to be able to hear different points of view and to have that conversation with people, because a lot of people can respect some of the angles that I'm talking about without having to agree with everything that I believe in my worldview. And I think in the space of the digital community, spaces where it's not, because if you're a member of like one channel, it's just like, okay, well, this is a Christian channel, you're going to get a bunch of Bible verses, and that could be kind of a boring channel for a lot of people, unless you're just wanting random Bible verses every day, or random, I find those channels, especially Christian content channels that are like I find it hard to just follow those regularly, because in my walk, I'm not dealing with the thing that the big church is dealing with in the same way. Like I'm working with God on a very specific issue. So the odds that the church that I'm, is talking about that exact thing that's just not how it works. That's why the Bible, it's available to use, so we can deal with our own issues that we're having, and have a real conversation, relationship with God, and that. So in that vein, like, I find just only following that this is a Bible verse and this is what you do with it doesn't really make sense, even Christian content wise. I don't think it's as effective in the same sense. I think, if you're going to do that, maybe some practical applications. And that's kind of what my channel is. It's me practically applying my worldview and what I think with real things in the world. So it's not abstract. I don't want to sit in like a pew in a building agreeing with a bunch of people around me. I want to be able to talk about what I think and how it relates to entertainment. How does that, like, how does it fit? How do I relate to the world with that? And so with like a membership, I don't want it to be a space that you can only find one thing. I want it to be a space where you can be curious and know that everyone there may not agree with everything you say, may not agree with everything I say, but they're wanting to like learn or hear other points of view and share their points of view, and have these open discussions. So I think that's why the membership is important, because I feel like the public arena is still so volatile. A lot of people don't feel comfortable in that space, including myself. So I create a membership, and so if you want to, you can support it. You can do that. You don't have to. I do try to release everything on there, but eventually I will be doing more things like these lives and stuff for just members, as we grow, and then that will might cater a little more to what everyone's talking about in the main conversation. So right now it's going to be generally what I'm talking about, but as the community grows, the membership is the community. The subscribers are not the community that I'm building, because you can subscribe and not really be a part of the community, right? So that's kind of the membership concept, and I actually have things I want to do in the membership, perks and things that I want to add as we go, that we can all engage with each other and get something from each other in the membership. And so that's what that is. It's really, I want to build a community, and YouTube is the space that I'm on right now, but I'm like looking into Patreon because they do the free version and YouTube doesn't offer a free version. Like I feel like I should be able to have like, but I guess they think subscribe is a free version. But let me tell you, I subscribe to a lot of people I wouldn't join a free membership for. And there's people I would join a free membership for, but I don't want to pay for. And I feel like that's where a lot of people would be with me. And I want to be able to offer that. And so if you do, you really are supporting a bigger cause. As far as the membership goes, I actually am trying to build a sort of business. It's called the Profitable Creator Club. You can see like there's a little sort of video production that I kind of was having fun with. It's a concept piece, but it basically is a membership system for creators, producers, writers of all all of the areas to come together and not promote each other, but like use each other in our projects, and create a space where people can engage with each other. If I'm like talking with you guys, and maybe someone needs like a business coach, someone to help them develop their organization, business organizational coaches. They have those. They also have other types of coaches, executive business coaches, but I'm talking like, say you need someone to help organize a business. That's something that I might need at some point as I'm developing this LLC that I'm building. And with that, I might want to have someone that I can recommend to my group of people. That's what this will be. So maybe there's a few different people that I could recommend that will be in this club, but they're going to be vetted. It's going to have an application, and it will have to be like a yearly thing that you apply to. So it's like a thing. So that's kind of this big picture thing. But for that, so yeah, if you're supporting, some of the people that are supporting are people who are supporting as a ministry, like because they believe that this is God wants to speak through me, just like as a normal person, because not everyone is supposed to be on a pulpit. Some people might just be good, like God wants to use them to speak, reason about a specific topic. Maybe God just wants someone that he can use that will work hard and teach people work ethic. Maybe he just wants me to teach my nephews, and maybe that's the purpose. You know what I mean? So I'm not set on that, but I do believe that part of what he wants me to do in my life is to connect people and help people bring their projects to life. So that's kind of what this Profitable Creator Club concept is, but that's where the membership concept starts. So If you want to just support this channel as I'm starting this process, as I'm starting this membership, just there is a bigger picture coming. You can just subscribe and just stick around, like come periodically. You don't have to become a member either. It's not going to hurt my feelings. But there is a big picture, and so some people might come on and be confused and think like, what are you doing? Like, oh, you're just trying, like, this is more than just a monetization channel for me. I do other stuff. I would work harder and I would stick to what the algorithm likes if I was gonna try to really monetize this. But what I do want is for this to become a bigger community, and whether that stays on YouTube or moves into some other space, that I'm trying to figure out. My hair is it's really long. I've told you this before, but I cut my own hair, and I just haven't in a while, so I just need to like chop it off. So the next time you see me, well, fairly soon, you're probably just gonna see my hair look a lot shorter, and then I won't mess with it as much. Right now I mess with it, like it sticks everywhere. It's always sticking. It's just, I have very thin hair too. It's very thin, it's straight, doesn't do anything. I could curl it and it will not hold a curl. It won't do anything. It won't. It's thin and straight, and that's fine. But it does need to be shorter. Otherwise, it's just a mess, and I cannot stop messing with it. And I've noticed that. Like, you'll see, like, the last several videos, I just cannot stop messing with it because it's just there. It's there. So I put my hair up. I guess I should just put it in a put. But at least you see I'm not doing that with my front, because I did put that up. So I had the foresight to do that, but I did not. I didn't anticipate the rest would bother me so much. Good to know. Okay, so it is 1:39. Let me go to OBS and see how long this has been. This is now at 51. So I'm trying to make these an hour long. This one is not my typical hour. At some level, like, some people might actually join one day, and then maybe we'll chat about what you guys want to chat about. I also will probably come on and like have topics. This one, I honestly didn't expect it to go live. I was testing my, I was trying to start my virtual camera, and I started the live stream instead of the virtual camera. So, surprise! But I needed to test it anyway, so here we are. We are doing this. We are testing, and it seems to be working. It has not. The other one, the Camo Studio, and this I find interesting. The Camo Studio, when I was using it to stream, every minute or two, it would just pop up this thing that showed that I didn't have, my audio bitrate was 0, which was less than the recommended bitrate. Like, obviously, I don't want my audio at 0. I mean, it was funny the way it even, like, worded it. It was like, right now, your bitrate is at 0, and that's less than the recommended bitrate. And I'm over here like, yeah, I would think having no audio would also be not recommended, but it's just, it was yeah. So anyway, this hasn't popped that up at all, and there was never an audio issue when I listened back, and this hasn't popped up any audio issues. So overall, I'm gonna say OBS, I'm using the free version right now, because I'm not on the computer with my pro version. The OBS is by far working better than Camo Studio. I am just screen mirroring my phone, using my phone camera, and then the OBS settings. My phone has a filter. OBS might have I think it has maybe a touch-up button, but it does. I'm not doing the LUTs, any of those, so I didn't change the lighting on OBS, and I didn't do any like nothing special. It doesn't have anything besides the LUTs. It looks like I'd have to really add a filter. I'd have to program a filter in. So it's just accepted that I'm pale, unlike Camo Studio, which wanted me to be yellow, because I guess that was the color I was missing, was life. blood flow. Yeah, it's there, guys. It's just it's pale. I don't know. Um, yeah, and it's not doing like weird stuff with my eyes. And as far as I can tell, I don't see. I mean, I don't have spotlight. There's no buttons on the OBS like that I could accidentally be pressing. So look, yeah, that's pretty good. Like, you watch, like this is me trying to see if I have a glow. I don't. So I feel like this was a successful, and it's been saying excellent. It's been streaming. My computer has gotten hot. I bet you're not going to be able to hear me too well. So I think that's probably something I'm going to have to deal with, is figure out how to get better audio. I'm using my computer audio, not my phone, because my phone usually picks up everything, and my computer is a little more careful because it's closer to fans and stuff. It doesn't just pick up the entire room. However, maybe I need to change that. But it could also cause more delay issues. You don't care. But I have 5 minutes to fill, so let's talk about it. Just kidding, I'm not going to talk about LUTs. Or my audio. Anyway, so let's see what else. Yeah, top of my head. Like, I'm looking at the YouTube right now, and I can, it's on delay, so that's what you guys saw just then, the top of my head. And over here is where you guys are, and I can't tell, it does seem a little crooked, but that was probably from the time that everything fell over while I was streaming earlier. That might be why everything is crooked right now. Okay, so I don't know that I want to record, although everything looks okay, so maybe I'll do my one-eyed. Let me know your topics that you like the best. I have been really fascinated with the competency issues lately, but once I'm done with that and doing this whole deep dive that I'm about to do, I'll be open to a new obsession to focus on for the next few videos, and that's kind of how I roll. I get into like a thing, and then I want to talk about that for a little bit, and then I move to the next one. So that's what I'll be doing. So anyway, 57. This is not going to be a... I will sometimes come on and do like a quick recording and maybe like a live stream, and then like use that for like to edit something. But I found like with the camo, like it was so bad of a system that I abandoned that idea. And now I'm wondering maybe I can try it again now that it does seem like it's a little better with this program. But I still don't know yet fully, because I have to see what the processing looks like after YouTube processes it. Fun times. You guys do follow, like if you're following this, if you, yes, I am producer Elena, so a lot of my stuff will be producer mindset stuff about how to run things, stuff about lighting, stuff about equipment, stuff about entertainment, and like how it looks or sounds, and how it's made, and what the purpose of, what the point is. Because I produce things, I know that you don't produce things without like trying to make someone feel something, without trying to make someone think something at the end. Everything is biased, and it's so much fun to watch things to see what bias that they're trying to get you. What thoughts do they want you to think? What do they want you to leave thinking? You know, and just to see what their point of view is, and what they're trying to convey is always really interesting. And so you'll see my stuff is generally very conveyor belt. What? I just realized I had some viewers and someone liked. Like, who are you? Can you comment? Is it only allowed to comment my people that watch me? See, that's where I'm like, what is happening? Okay. Look, it does say who can send messages, but live reactions, I don't know. What is a message? What does that mean? Is that a chat? Okay, I'm gonna actually press this button. You have to be subscribed for 5 minutes at least to send a message. Does that seem fair? What is that? I don't even know. So yeah, if someone's here, I'm sorry I didn't let you chat. What is my... I'm new to this. So yeah, I'm shocked, but it did show that I had I had 2 likes. Like, thank you. Oh, hi. Hi, Rear Admiral Toot Toot. I had no idea anyone was even looking. This is why I should look at my screen. Like, hello. I honestly thought this whole time I just thought I was talking to myself. I'm sorry. I would have been more entertaining. Would have like done a jig. Would have chatted with you actually. I would have like said, "Hey, do you want to talk about something?" Like, "Oh, hi. What's up?" Psh, M4V. I feel like you needed. That was a is it an onomatopoeia? Psh. Is that what that's called, or is that a different word? I like words a lot. You'll hear that. Psh. It is okay. So yeah. Anyway, hello, welcome everybody. Um, I honestly, that is a good question. Rear Admiral Toot Toot. Sometimes I feel like people create names just to hear other people say them. So, Rear Admiral Toot Toot. I don't know what I'm actually talking about. I was talking about the channel and like why it's so random. um, because that's my brain. It's absolutely a random brain. I'm not a person that has one linear thought and just sticks with it. But I feel like I do come full circle eventually. That's, I think I can. So my channel is like that, but a lot of people, like, why did you start? Because obviously you had to subscribe. Like, why did you start following? Was it for the woman stuff? Was it because I was um, talking to women and trying to tell them to stop being crazy? Was that like the general? Um, or did you come on for a different time? I don't talk about too much other things. Like, was it about? Yeah, a lot of channels use scripts and teleprompter. They really do. Nobody has normal names. Mine's kind of normal. I feel like that says a lot about me. Not necessarily good things. like, like am I that? I'm just a producer. But yeah, no one. Neb44. Hi, I recognize you too. Um, but a lot of people do, and I don't think I could. Some people can read scripts really well. So let's look at this. Like, if I was gonna read something, like you're gonna. Can I leave YouTube? I don't know if I can. Let me see. Well, that's a weird thing to read. I'm not gonna read that. It was a bad. Actually, I mean, I could. It was a mean comment that I got from someone who. It was actually a really mean comment, and I was reporting it. So that's the thing that popped up. But say, so if I wanted to just read a teleprompter, you would be able to tell. So I would say like, not bitter or lonely, and alone doesn't mean lonely. I can't even do it, guys. I can't do it. Okay, well, this person also is like a mean person, but decentering men isn't man hating. That's what this person says. Now I am the type of woman who is pansexual turned. Whoa. Okay, maybe I'm not. I was reading a mean comment, but yeah. This you're literally saying I'm a woman and I don't want any rights and I don't want any say. What I can't do with our body. LOL. Hey, if that's your kink, I don't kink shame, but it isn't my kink, nor is it a lot of other women's kinks. Conks. Kink. She wrote conk. I can't teleprompt, guys. It's not gonna work out. I mean, do you want me to keep going with this comment though? It's horrible. I don't even know that I might get banned if I keep going. Oh, you believe me? Yeah, that's cute. Yeah. No, you. I think my videos could be better if I was better at scripting. Further island tile right next to it, and it won't look okay. Yeah, because I think that's the thing. Like, I could probably get a teleprompter. I mean, I have clients who do that and they do the teleprompter. However, I don't think I could do it naturally like I wasn't reading. Like, even though you could see me reading, like you can see in my videos when I'll like look at a note that I'm doing, but then I generally will like start looking all around and put my thoughts together. I thought, so do you like, would you prefer me to try scripting? Would you like me to try it? Like okay, so it takes some practice, that's true. And yeah. But like, I mean, I'm not saying my videos wouldn't be better. Like, I'm, guys, I'm self-aware in some ways. It takes effort. Like you said, it takes practice. Psh, in 4V. I actually do stick to a point. I actually do have outlines that help me stick to a point. Shocking. I really do, guys. It's just, I don't know, that's not my charm, is point sticking. That sounded horrible. That was dirty. Hey, also, I was trying to find, like, so because I'm really pale, obviously, and I blend in to the background. So I've been trying to find things to put back here, but obviously this one has a glare because of the light, so I'd have to take the glass off. But this is an old, I don't know if you can see here, but this is an old poster. Oh, these are my siblings, but so this is an old Bobby Bone Show poster. This is my old show. I have a, yeah. That's us, just doing fun stuff. My radio days. Super fun, guys. So I'll figure that stuff out too. I mean, they do come on the fly. I think also, and this is what I really appreciate y'all being here for, is that, here, let me grab over here. I think, I have my water over here. Sorry guys, I wasn't prepared. My water. I think I'll get better. That's why I'm trying to talk more and do more videos. They're not great at first, but I do think that like that I'll get better at sticking to the point. I mean, I did talk radio, obviously, for years. I'm a producer. I wasn't the one talking. So that's the trick. I know what sounds good. I'm not the talent. So here we are. But yeah, I have, it doesn't really feel like me. Yeah. You know, I don't know what I'm gonna do with this channel, but you guys like actually interacting with me is going to really help. I do think this is going to be my social media though. I can't do, if you can find me, Producer Elena is like my handle everywhere. I'm sorry. So you can see, but I like don't post anywhere. I'm not good at short and quick. So I think I'm gonna try to use YouTube like that and try to interact with y'all more. And if you weren't here earlier, I was talking about the membership and just basically like I may try to find a space that creates a free one, but I like the vibe because I feel more like it's a group and like it's protected a little more as I'm practicing, because there's a lot of people out there that are good at what they do or that really want to be commentary people. I want to create a big community. Like I really want us to like just be better at talking with each other, and I want to help figure out like how people are thinking more, because what I find is the algorithm wants to give me only certain types of things, and there's a lot of interesting people like y'all, all of you, like Neb44, you've been around for a while, and you challenge me, like you'll call me out, and I like that. Like you'll say like, oh, I didn't like, or like you'll call me, like, I don't know that it's like, oh, I didn't like this, you're always very nice, but like you'll tell me when you don't agree with what I'm saying, or when I'm saying something that you think is inaccurate, and I always really appreciate that. um, to hear that point of view and be able then to expand on it. What I do worry is that people think that my videos are like all like I I feel like the topic's over once I'm done. I really try to cut them and keep them shorter, but I realize that these topics are so big. But yeah, I do have like a 26-page essay about the one-eyed man being king in a land of the blind. About the generation of which I believe a lot of y'all are part of this group of the Alpha Tech operators, who actually had to learn how to deal with technology when it wasn't user friendly. And I felt like that was, if you know anything about butterflies, you know that when they're in the cocoon trying to get out, as they're struggling to get out of the cocoon, that part, like the struggle, it looks like it's so hard for them. It looks like they're not going to get out. But that's how their wings get strong so that they can fly as they're trying to get out of the cocoon. That's where their strength gets built from. And so if you actually cut that open for them, they will never ever be able to fly. And I feel like that's what we did with technology, the people who had to learn it a little earlier in the stages where it didn't always do what you want. Machines broke and you had to really manage it, and you had to put in all the MS-DOS, right? Like, if I wanted to figure out where Carmen Sandiego was, I had to know the code. I had to know my C drive input. And even to run it, because I didn't even have a mouse at that time. And so I feel like that was like the butterfly friction, where we actually were able to use reasoning still, but as soon as the computers became user friendly, no friction, it sounds easy, but you take away the friction, you don't learn strength, you don't learn mental reasoning. So that's the whole concept, and I've been thinking about this for quite some time. But yeah, so that's when I have like a 26-page essay about it right now. And I'm just trying to like compile that in my head to figure out like how to present it. Oh, so look. So that is something that I might script at some point, but yeah, see, it makes them able to fly. So it is part of the point. It's true. Like the feedback and like feedbacking and not just like pandering. Listen, I could find a lot of people who just want to pat my butt and agree with me. I'm not here for that. Like I want to grow and I want to learn. I'm not online to get, a lot of people can't handle negativity. It teaches us though. So like I need to hear when my ideas are good or bad, and then if someone doesn't agree with them, they think it's bad, I need to be able to reason and figure out if it is bad or if they just disagree. I need to be able to have that friction. I think that's important for me to not fold, and to really be able to stand by ideas, and some of my ideas I can stand by, and then some, as I talk about them, I'm like, well, that doesn't hold up. so I'm not the person, I think, that can live in the world of single code. Like all my code has to fit together. Like I can't say that this is this way and then okay, so this is a good example. So that Lupita Nyong'o, I'm not sure how to say her name, you've probably seen it, but the whole Odyssey controversy, which I haven't gotten into, maybe I will, maybe I won't. But one thing about it is that this girl has a coding. She's cast, if you don't know, as Helen of Troy. There's controversy surrounding it. My issue with it is that Helen of Troy was described in the Odyssey. So if a character is described, you should probably try to be accurate to that. Also, everyone in the Odyssey is Greek, so that probably should matter. Just thoughts. But the concept that I'm talking about is the coding thing, where she actually has, like in the Black Panther movie, because she did the Wakanda Forever, all of that. And she was talking about how important it was, she was talking against cultural appropriation. She was talking against, changing the culture, even though it was a mythological story, it was true to the African culture that she felt was very important to keep secure and to respect and to reflect accurately. And now she's okay with being cast as Helen of Troy, and she's saying like, oh, it's just a myth, and it's, it's a world story. So obviously she's running two different codes. They work for her thing that she needs the codes to work for at the time, but they don't work together. And I need to find I have those codes in me. I do. We all do. And I just really need, I want to get rid of those inconsistencies, so it does take you actually. Why did it do that? I don't know. My stream got weird for a second. Sorry, guys. But, I don't know if that was what's gonna happen again. Huh. Okay, but it came at. I have never watched Love Island, guys. I've heard of it. It's a reality show. I, what else do I know about Love Island? Oh, I'm not gonna be like, oh, I'm above it, because when Paradise Hotel came out, like, this was in. I'm old. This was quite some time ago. I think it was 2003, 2005, maybe 2005. I'm not sure, but I really enjoyed Paradise Hotel, right? The streaming life, it is the streaming. This is the streaming life. I'm new to it, but I'm not. All of this stuff is not good for my brain. Is easily distracted, right? So obviously, any of these bells and whistles, these notifications, like, I just lose my train of thought. It's sad. I mean, it's good and bad. It's got its pros, but I can move along pretty quickly. I can get over things fairly quickly, but I love having chat, guys. It's so much fun. This is so much better than the comments. Let me tell you, YouTube's comments. If you wonder, I recognize a lot of you for commenting, but like, why would I not comment on or respond to you? Because YouTube sets up its things. Like, I feel like I should be able to control my comments. If I want to find NebNeb44, I should be able to type your name in there and find my favorite people that I can look at your comments. I can't do that. Like, why not? It has a search thing, but it won't let me search for people or for people who comment the most. Like, it's pretty ridiculous. So, if you wonder, this comment system on YouTube is horrible. See, Nebeb, I do not know what makes Paradise Hotel better than Love Island. I don't know that it's any different, is my point. That's why I'm saying I've never watched Love Island. I think the difference is that when I was watching Paradise Hotel, my brain had not fully formed. I was like 18. I was still growing, and now yeah. So I guess maybe that's why. You know what, though? Like, they say Love Island, but then there's Love is Blind. There's a lot of things, but I do enjoy Love on the Spectrum. I don't think that's the same type of show. so, well, that's true. Well, thank you. That's good. I know a lot of people want to just come and hear me talk negatively about women. I actually like women. I'm shocked at how many crazy ones there are out there. It's shocking. It's scary. It makes us look bad. I believe there's a lot of people like me. We just sat quietly confused about what was happening in the world. Just like doing our own thing. I'm literally, like, I'm not even sure like how I missed all of that. And my sisters, I've said this before, I'm conservative. You can probably tell, more conservative. I'm conservative in a lot of ways, in most ways, but my sisters are liberal. So once my older sister, who I would say was my best friend, she's 3 years older than me. She's one of my best friends. I don't talk about politics with her. We never do. But it was a while back, but she hung up on me because she asked about my political view, which she had never asked before, and I told her. And like 20 seconds in, she was like, I can't even do this. And she hung up on me, guys. My sister, who then, we talked normally later. She never brought it up again. She just couldn't handle that I didn't agree with her. And I was being very normal and calm. So, but, not everyone in my family agrees with me. Not just surrounded by yes people. Most of the people actually think I'm crazy, like out there, eccentric. They would also call me antisocial. I don't see that. Do you see me as antisocial? Yeah, see, that's the thing. I can sometimes, if I keep up with it fast enough, I can see some of the newest comments. But if you comment on the stuff, like the older video, like I have to know. And I'm not sure if I'm using YouTube wrong, but I think it's actually just an issue with the comments and how they're set up. And I'm not sure, like, what's the point of having comments and comment, like, if you cannot navigate them in an easy way to be able to find, like, the people. Yeah, I'm not a yes sister. I'm really not. So, which video? Because I will go back, and I really like looking at those and reading the comments and hearing the thoughts. Because, again, when I do a video, you may think, like, oh, this is exactly what I think, and I'm never... No, like, you guys will comment stuff and change my mind. Not every time, but, if I miss something, like, gastronomist... I don't know that I'm saying that right. Anyway, he always comments on my stuff, and he'll always comment on things I miss. So some people can find that frustrating. No, he actually, he comments nice stuff as well sometimes. He likes to make jokes and stuff, but he will always add to it. And I like that because then it gives me like, it's right, because the last thing I did note that I had a whole thing about educational system, but the point is, it is true, there's just so much more to it, and I can never in my brain wrap around like every concept and throw it out there and just be like, this is my life's work and I'm never gonna think differently, which does make you wonder like how to make videos, right? Oh, do you guys care about, okay, you might not care about this, but I was thinking about really trying to make some videos. I've been seeing about regretting not having kids and not getting married. When it was convenient and like the right time, when my body was physically able to do it and mentally and the energy. And I know that y'all are all guys, so it's not really something you care about. But to me, I feel like everyone's coming out there talking about children and about like how like they're upset they had kids, and like I just feel like I was taught when I was young to wait. That family, all of that stuff can wait until after you've built a career. Literally, I was taught like do that in your 30s, and you're not by my mom. My mother, she just let us do what we thought. She was a little more traditional. But by the media. And they were like, little did I know until my brain started working that I missed the biological years. And yes, I have there's illness stuff that happened, but mentally, I'm not going to say that I wasn't brainwashed still. If I was physically well, I would have been, there's a part of me that's like, there's a part that I'm glad I wasn't physically well, because I wouldn't want to be a 304. I learned that recently. 304. Oh. That's what that means. But I'm not saying that I'm above having been that person that could have done that. Do you know what I mean? I just was in a space, and I don't want to say it's lucky to be sick, because it's not, but just in a space that I like wasn't able to live out the life that I was being taught to live out. Exposing mean, okay, I'll have to look at that. See, so kids, because I just think, I wish, oh, thank you, Neb. That's valid point, because women aren't like that. Neb, just for the record, Neb says, just because we're guys, I'm sure I could showcase this. I probably could use my OBS and like highlight this somehow. But just because we're guys doesn't mean we don't want to hear about things that matter from your perspective. Women aren't like that. You might know this. This might not be a shock to you, but women we're not like that, guys. I'm trying to be, but I at least I'm having awareness of these things. We don't do that. In a large scale, don't do that. so so you guys are just nicer than women, and maybe less selfish. Is that because you have to be less selfish? Like we forced it on you? I always wonder about that. Like why women it's hard to talk about women because I feel like everyone then thinks I just hate them. But I'm a woman, okay? So but guys just seem like they make more sense. They seem like better leaders. And as a woman I don't think I'm an idiot. I think I'm a good leader in the places that I lead. But like I'm not sure I'm even equipped even in my mental capacity to handle some of the stress of leadership. Some of the need to be consistent every day. Are you kidding? Like that's not an easy thing to do. Be consistent every day and to stay the same when you have emotions and things. And like guys tend to be very consistent. They do goal oriented. When I talk to them, sometimes it gets annoying because they like to fix things, but at the same time they don't want to just sit there and listen to a problem. They're like they're fix oriented, solution oriented. And I just don't know, like I just don't know that women should be in major leadership positions. I'm not even sure that women CEOs, not because they shouldn't be allowed, some women will have that ability. I just think it's few and far between, because even me, mentally thinking like I don't think physically I could keep up with mental stress demands that like a CEO or major leader would need to do. Oh, men like having problems to address. Yeah. Well, you got them. We've created plenty for you to deal with. But I do, if you look at when women have come into control, and yes, DEI has caused some of this. I think when the women that were in charge prior to DEI were more meritocracy, were more better. Like, there's no nice way to say it. I don't think that DEI did well for women. I just don't think all women belong there, and I think you need to do the butterfly thing. You need to really have struggle before you get to that place to be able to be strong enough to be in that high place. And that's why, you winning the lottery doesn't usually work out. So the 19th Amendment, a lot of people, that's you're gonna get me in trouble. I try to steer clear of these things. I think we should have some rules about the 19th Amendment. I don't think that voting was initially supposed to be for everybody. I don't know that the founding fathers, it was like property holders. This thing is glaring. I don't think you guys can see it, but like my thing. There's like there's a huge light in front of everything. And it's really causing me not to be able to see. It's like glaring back on the screen and I can't see what you guys are typing. Gosh, so silly. Okay, so Neb did on the Manosphere lies. Okay, I have to go back and read your comments on that. Actually, that was a fun video. I bet there's a lot of comments that I wasn't able to go back and look at, so I'll go look at that one. And yeah, fighting for resources for family and people, it's important, and I feel like that's where I'm at now. I didn't fully miss the boat biologically on kids. I'm still that could happen. I'm working toward that in my relationship. However, I'm more focused like on Come back. There we go. Sorry, guys. Sorry, guys, that, it'll happen. I don't know. My internet or the stream, but we'll see. Um, but don't you think, like, I don't believe that everyone should be voting. So initially it was only for, like, landowners. Um, so, like, is there something still there? Like, I'd have to do the research and see what actually is in, like, amended already. But I do think maybe some sort of competency test. We have to take tests to drive. Okay, Waymos don't. Waymos just drive. They don't have to learn about drunk driving issues and the dangers of cars on the road. But yeah, so like we have to take tests to learn how to drive and do it. Like, why wouldn't we have to do that as well to be, you have to take a test as a citizen to become a citizen. So I think maybe citizens should have to take a test. Is that crazy? Is that a crazy idea? Just something. And maybe I think I could pass, but if I didn't pass because I don't like own land or something, that is what it is. I would be motivated to own land or something, or do, I don't know. Look. Yeah, men don't ride. So we have like 8 different topics. This is the fun part of being in my brain, and I'm catching up with chat, so we're gonna be bouncing around. Keep up, keep up. Yeah, we do not ride the same emotional roller coaster. I would agree. It's tough inside my head, guys. Knowing, like being aware, and like having the feelings, and being aware of the logic and the feelings, it's tough. Sometimes it seems easier if I got rid of some of my self-awareness. Just go with the emotions. Because, it's a lot of times when you have to be like, this emotion that I'm feeling has no logic. Like, it doesn't even make sense. Or it is logical, but like, okay, get over it. Like, what am I going to do about it? The amount of time I have to spend doing that. And I think that's like a woman thing. But guys, you guys have emotions. Do you guys just don't care? I don't know. It's amazing to me that you could just like not have to think all day about like the difference. I constantly have to separate those two, logic and emotion. Power just exposes what ugly in people may feel. It is true. It's really true. We have some bad stuff in us. All of us. Myself as well. And you want to make sure, which is, that you can handle stuff before you succeed. Although having, billions of dollars would be nice. I guess it's also building character and hard work. And although I don't know that you can get billions of dollars without having done some bad. I'm not sure that level. I don't know. I don't know a lot about corporations, but it doesn't seem like that would be a possible thing. We'll have a growing dependent class that continues to exist because they can vote. Yeah. I mean, it's true, though. That is... We just need better voting laws. And not more open. I am not a fan of not having an ID to vote. But I did register to vote recently in Texas. Yay! Because I was living in New York, and that's where I was registered to vote. And then when I moved here, I hadn't gotten my new driver's license for a while, and so I finally got a new driver's license. I had to take driver's ed again. Did I tell y'all that? I hadn't driven since 2016, and it was 2026. So I decided to take driver's ed again. I didn't actually have to. I still had a valid license, but I thought it was for the best of the world. So I redid all of the driver's tests. It took me 12 hours. It was supposed to be like a 6-hour thing, and it took me about 12, almost 13 hours. And I read it all, and I watched all the videos, and then when I told the lady, she was like, it's really only takes 6 hours. I was like, no, those videos, there's like 30 minutes and an hour video, and then you have to read all the stuff. And she's like, oh, so you like did the test. She worked at the Texas DOT and she didn't expect me to do, like, I don't know what. I guess you're just supposed to, like, guess on the I watched every minute of those videos. I mean, just like, why do I follow rules? Sometimes. Sometimes I wonder. And I don't have a car yet, but I figured the first step was license. So voting hasn't meant anything for a long time. It's a trick to get people to think they can make a difference at the ballot. I mean, it's fair. We do, if you look into the Electoral College and some of the representative stuff that's going on, it is very an interesting system. Most Americans don't have a clue how it works. I'm not great at how it works. I didn't grow up in the U.S., so I didn't take U.S. government until college, and then I only took Texas government because that's what Texans do. I don't know if they do like a government class for other, or if that's just like Texas being Texas. But yeah, I went to UT Austin, and that was, I didn't really learn about the U.S. government, but I did learn a lot about Texas government. Ah, Texans, man. Ah, okay. See, Neb admits you have emotions, but you don't live with them at the center of your lives. How freeing must that be? Like, free as the wind. Like, this sounds so nice. Gosh, my emotion can just get me anytime. Long is good? Oh, okay, well, thank you. I mean, honestly, I just cut it myself, and I take, like, I put it all in the front. Like, you want to see this? I could do it on the thing. Maybe that'll be one of my days. I do it like this, and then I just cut it. Like that, and then I just let it grow again. That's honestly what I do. I'm not even lying. Okay. Alright. Anyway, so, what kind of computer? So this is a MacBook Pro. It's 2020. Not any, I'm going to keep it as long as I can. It's still an Intel. I didn't go into the M1 chip. I felt like that was going to overheat, and I have not updated my OS past Monterey either. I know that hinders some things, but when you're dealing a lot with editing videos, with editing audio, I'm dealing with so much heavy driver processing that I just cannot handle the liquid glass screen. You know, that is like constantly using my processing just to make a screen look annoying, like, and kind of like mess with your vision. Like, I don't need liquid glass, and it overheats my machine, and it doesn't matter what processor I have. There will never be a reason for me to need a liquid glass on my video editing and audio editing processing. Like, it wastes my power of my computer just for me to see what's on my screen. It's crazy. Crazy talk. Let's see. I come over here. This is where my video's here, and then this is where you guys are. So that's where I'm going, if you guys are wondering why I come over here. Oh, okay. See, yeah, we are taught to learn differently, but let me see. Absolutely. It's one of the reasons we desire having. Oh, that's nice. It's true. That's, you know, we, we could be fun. I mean, we definitely keep it interesting. Women. I'm not sure. Um, Currently, all women. Some of them, I'm not even sure that they like consider themselves women, but women who actually still consider ourselves women. That's a whole different issue mentally. If you're just not part of the gender anymore categorically. So, anyway, so this has been like an hour and 40 minutes. I will do better. I may come on and like have topics and stuff. So does Saturday work? Is Saturday like around noon, like a good time? Some days I might just pop on, but like, what times are good for like a live type of vibe? Because I just, post videos when I post them, but sometimes I just want to like hop on, and I don't know when that's going to be. the best for everyone else. So I'm gonna give y'all a second if anyone wants to let me know times, days. Because I think like Saturday, this is generally a time that I have. Next Saturday, I have my nephew's birthday party though. I have a very full life, everybody. Let me actually look. I have okay, this is yes. Next Saturday. Um Next Saturday. Oops. I do that sometimes. Sorry guys. You can see like all my stuff. This is such a mess. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Whenever I plop down, everything falls. Everything. So yes, I won't be available next Saturday. I have a party to go to. However, most Saturdays I have availability. So, I mean, I like Saturdays to do my own thing, and weekdays I do more other things. So, let's see. Yeah. I mean, it would be cool to have it grow. Okay, so do a time that works for me and keep it reasonably consistent. So, we have talked about the consistency issue as a woman. It is kind of like, oh, am I in the mood? But okay. I'll try it. I'm gonna try on Saturdays. I'm gonna try around the lunch hour. I'm central, guys. Maybe that will be when I can consistently do it. And then also, honestly, around like 1 p.m. most days, my lunchtime would be like, if I did just hop on, it would probably always be around that hour, usually would be the best. So, all right. We've established it. I've done a live stream. Everybody, I did one prior, but if you missed it, there was a lot of issues with the camera. This camera's better, and my eyes don't look like demon eyes. Did you guys notice that? That like the eyes, like it was making my eyes black. The other one, it was crazy, man. You guys don't even know. Like if I was like mad, you might enjoy a stream of mine. I don't know that you've ever seen me mad. Have you seen me mad? So scary. So mad. I don't know that I get like mad easily, but like I get annoyed. But mostly it would be like just my work mode, which I don't know if my work mode is entertaining or it's not very delightful. My charming, delightful self does not come to work with me. Let's see. That's true. Hobbies should be fun. You're right. I'm trying to make this fun. Thank you, NebNeb44. It is why, like, initially I was really trying to post, and I'm really at least trying to post regularly. I was trying to post on, like, every Tuesday. And it's hard because this is not my job. This is a hobby. I do this for fun. But I do hope to improve, which is why I'm doing this. Whatever this is, it will get better. You guys are just here in the butterfly stage. Someday this will be something. This will have cocooned and you would be like, I remember when it was less of a mess. I bet it's going to turn into something crazy. But I'm excited about that. Let's see. People will watch will not care. Well, that's nice. Hey, so this is like actually separate from topics of that. What do you actually watch? Like, I personally watch YouTube versus most streaming places. I'm asking for recommendations because I have a few channels that I watch. Is this like not buttoned? I don't understand. I just distracted myself by my cleavage. I'm sorry, sirs. So, but I'm finding that the stuff that I do watch, like, so I think I'm done with the political commentary as far as I'm pretty well rounded on my groups of political commentators. but it does feel like I'm missing people that just like come on and talk. So Asa Parks, I don't agree with everything he does or says, but I do like some of, like, he did a Mr. Rogers documentary that was really great. I really like that. I like that concept. Cindy Watson, I really like her stuff. She doesn't just do political, so she kind of mixes it up. I like Jester Bell, so I'm trying to like get people that have a Disparu. I'm sure I say it wrong. Nerdrotic, those sort of things. So I do like that type of stuff as well. I'm not a Mr. Beast fan. Okay, so what? Yes, documentaries. Oh my gosh. I watched a documentary about the Titanic the other day. Psh, 4V. Like, okay, I'm going to have to, like, if you have one to recommend, like, let me know, because I watched an awesome Titanic documentary on YouTube the other day. It was intense. And I love historical documentaries. I love ocean things, like when they explore and find stuff on the ocean, but I also like the old pirate, like just all the old stories, and then they go and they search for these pirate ships and stuff. I find those fascinating, the discoveries and the Egypt stuff, learning. Do you guys know that there is a concept that in Egypt, all of these pyramids were actually their electrical system, that it like actually created, and the electrical system created this connection, this vibe that actually made people happy? Like, it's insane. The government was making people happy. They were basically drugging everyone with electricity based on where the placements and how the hydro electricity, because there is ideas that water used to flow through these certain places, and they're wondering, like, why are these chambers in places? And you can understand, like, yeah, you wanted a path all the way to the god, but if you look at exactly where it is, where the reservoir would have been at the time, it actually looked like these were hydroelectronically producing electricity for these entire areas. Anyway, it's a really interesting concept, but I find those things fascinating. So anyway, so yeah, if you guys, yes, you guys are gonna say that. You're gonna say, remember there were 5 of us and you actually talked to all of us. It's true. But I want to. That's why I really want to get to know your names and stuff, because I recognize you, and then I'll be able to chat with y'all more often. But yeah, so when you guys see those things, like, you don't have to tell me now, but when you see those type of like interesting, even if they're commentators, but I'm just kind of over, like, I have enough people who show me clips of other people, social stuff. Like, I have that. People do that. It's why I'm not doing it. I could have a lot to say. I just feel like there's a lot of people doing that. I'm trying to come in with something different. And so I'm looking for people who are doing that as well, who are providing different things than just playing back social clips and commenting, which is basically what most people do, the reaction comments, which I have a lot of those, is what I'm saying. So anyway, so yeah, so 4V, if you have the 17, like, I might go watch that now. Like, screw recording a video, might just go watch something about the ships. I also was looking at this documentary about early airplanes, and back in the day, like, I think it was like the 20s and 30s specifically, and they did the safari vibes with all the wicker and everyone, the elites were all going on safari. The planes were actually, like, you could see it was just these wicker chairs that were put in 2 rows, and they were like stapled onto the ground, and they had like curtains, the flowing curtains that you think like billowy curtains, like in Mia Farrow, what was that, Great Gatsby, like the willowy, like, obviously that was the movie version, but how it's described in the book, the billowing, that type of vibe, that look, that was what the type of curtains in the plane. And I was thinking, gosh, I would never get into that. Not for like the lack of the poor decorating. I mean, I meant like I would like the plane look. These people were brave. These first flyers. Yeah, I know, right? Like, so I have I think you can comment on the channel if you cannot comment on the channel, tell me and then I can figure out how to do it. But I feel like there's a way to comment on the channel. And I thought I had opened that you could comment on the channel. If you're not comfortable with that, you can also like email me, Elena at producerelena.com. It's fairly easy to remember. Or you could just like, I have Instagram and Twitter. You could always like DM me or something. I don't check those. So I don't recommend it as much. I'm not as easy at it's harder to contact me via those channels, only because I just don't check them. But I have them. But I do think I do have my own domain, but I just never did anything with it. I know. producerelena.com. I do have a domain. I just don't, I haven't done anything with it. I don't even know like what's on it right now. At one point, like I had my Etsy store on it because I was testing the WooCommerce app. A lot of the stuff I do on my own, I do it as testing for clients. So I do have an Etsy store. I don't do a whole lot on it, but I do learn e-commerce with it and learn about Etsy ads and stuff for a client I did. Yeah, see, I've seen the channel comments. So if you cannot do it, I'll figure that out. I think I can also write comments. So maybe I can actually write a comment on my channel and have people like, I can ask people for recommendations. I'll try that after this is done because we're all new to this. You and me both, Neb44. I know, right? Like Etsy is Etsy, my gosh. Etsy is a problem. But it's only because of the drop shipping issue. I really would love to actually have an Etsy store that I made something in. I would love to be able to craft. I'm not a crafter, just for the record. This is like, if I was in a different life and I had spent time learning to craft, I might have learned to craft. And maybe have an Etsy store. Nothing I do craft-wise. I do a lot of production. I can't really sell it. So I can do designs, but my stuff is like on demand because I don't create those things. And most people on Etsy right now are having trouble because everyone's doing print on demand. And I don't know like why these people sell all these Etsy seller how do they trick people into this, because you don't really make money on Etsy printing on demand. Your profit margins, it's not possible. If you want to print on demand, then you're competing with Amazon. And Amazon and these companies are spending millions of dollars. Like Walmart can spend millions of dollars to buy all these TVs for way cheap and then sell them to you for like I can't print on demand for the same price that someone who can buy everything ahead of time can. So we're literally making 50 cents, but you're spending like double the cost on the same product that you could buy on Amazon. So that's the problem that Etsy is seeing, that the print on demand has taken over, and people think that all these Etsy sellers are being selfish and like overpricing. I mean, they're overpricing, but it's because the 40% profit margin is eaten up by your 6% Etsy fee, as well as your 3% purchase fee, as well as I think there's like a 1.7% shipping fee, as well as your fee for, say, if you use your print on demand service, your production fees, as well as if you're, who's paying your tariffs. So again, all of this stuff is things that people don't think about. Gosh, see, now you know why I struggle with short videos. I just have so much stuff in my head to say. It's great. And see, my sisters, we don't just sit and talk. They have children. They're busy. They don't listen. Let's see. Okay, so I can make a post. Okay, thank you. PSU fan has set me straight. I will make a post and then maybe people can comment on that. So, Money tomorrow spell only $2.99. Exactly. I mean, people do that on Etsy, but also people do that on my videos. If you notice, if I don't watch my comments, and I can't all of them, you'll see the people who are like, "Oh, I love this video. You know, it reminds me of my husband. You know, he just left me yesterday, and I'm actually really depressed about it, and I just can't eat or sleep. But I just don't know what to do. Please help." And then someone will immediately comment, "Oh my gosh, I am so sorry. I was in that same boat, but you know who helped me? Guru, Mafia Mama." And you know, just go on WhatsApp and like, you see it. You'll see it on my videos. They really bother me. And then they'll just all keep going and talk about Guru Mama face. I mean, they're that's obviously not the real name, but it's tough. Yeah, I mean that's true. I guess Etsy's true because it needs to. I mean, at least Amazon does have better. Etsy, you go on there, you buy all the stuff like Disney brands. Like it's not Disney. Like how. And they use AI completely to get rid of stuff, and they close shops down that actually created real designs, and they won't close the shops down that are stealing the real designs. It's a big mess. Etsy's a mess. Um, but you know, I think everything just it grows into a mess. Is it is like I don't think things grow better. You have to really maintain them. Growth is hard, guys. This is my sad ending to the stream. Okay, so what I want to do, I'm gonna go. It's been like 2 hours for me. I'm actually gonna maybe eat lunch or something. Um, but what I do want to do is try to do this regularly. Next week, I do have. Okay, so I really want to be consistent. I want to say I'm being consistent, but I am reminding you next week I have my nephew's birthday party. So it may not happen next week. And if it does happen, it may happen earlier or later. Um, I'll keep you posted. I'm going to work on this post thing to figure out how to community post. But then regularly, maybe on Saturday afternoons, I can come on and we can actually chat, and maybe that will be more of the fun stuff that I can do and figure out my social interaction. I want to be able to. This is my social time. It's with you guys. No, my social media interaction time, since I don't do it anywhere else. So anyway, okay, so small shops that I don't like having to list on eBay. I mean, eBay's a pain. I've never been able to do more than like one, and I never actually sold anything on eBay, but I did try to sell a purse once, and I just like I couldn't stand with like having to re-up it and all of that, and I was like, I can't do this. I don't know that I'm like the e-commerce person anyways, but I would love to be able to actually design um, clothes. Like I used to be able to sew and do that stuff, and I guess I can still do it, but I'd have to get better again at it. But I would love to start being able to make clothing and different designs, my own, not for Etsy. That doesn't sound fun. But I just mean like designing my own stuff um, for myself. Okay. Okay, everybody. I don't even know how to wrap this up, but I'm gonna wrap this up. And do I keep this live or should I make this private? Do I keep the live stream up afterwards? I don't know how people do it, so you can let me know. Bought stuff from small carpentry shops. Oh my gosh, see, that's what I'm saying. Like the metal workers, um, I had a friend who had a really good shop. He made the covers of guitars, you know, the guitar covers. Um, you know, the electric guitars, and there's like the wood kind of cover on it for the pick guard things, and they were so like they were very expensive, but he would like specially craft them, and like they were so pretty. And he would make picks and different things as well. um, I mean, I could. That would take a lot of effort, and it's like, is that the skill I want to focus on? I have to really decide. I'd love to focus on a skill, but I'm not sure that's the one. I'm not sure. I think maybe it would be more like video oriented, because I do a lot of editing on videos, but I don't do a lot of set creation. I don't do a lot of lighting development. I do the post production. And so I think something I would love to learn would be the I do live recording stuff. So audio wise, I can do set up, and I did radio and any sort of live audio production I could do. But I would like to be able to add the video aspect of it, and no, because I just don't do anything with video besides I edit it. So I get whatever is given to me as far as the quality, and I noticed that it can really matter, if they did it right or wrong. And since I don't have those skill sets, those teachings, I think that would probably be something I would focus on hobby wise, just to get better at that. I think that would be a fun thing to know how to do better. Just even ways like this shadow has distracted me all day, and just certain things that just it would be fun to know exactly how to do it easily without having to do these weird troubleshoots and have a camera set up in this weird jig that every time I sit down it falls over. Life. Okay, everybody, I am going to go. I've said this like 8 times. I'm not great at wrapping up. I'm not great at any of this, but I had so much fun. This is fun. This is why I'm on YouTube, is for this thing. So I think I'll have to do lives more because I want to talk to you guys, interact more. I distracted you on purpose. Yes, because like this is, it's so easy, and now the more you know. Do. You guys know what that is, right? I don't know how old you guys are. I'm 42. Just for the record. Minnesotan. Is that what they do? Do they not ever leave? They just say, I'm gonna go. Well, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna wrap this up at like 8 times. That's me. I am not the Irish goodbye that forgets to say goodbye and just sneaks out. I will tell you I'm gonna leave over and over and over again. Squirrel is a serious issue with me. I also will say I've been hanging out with, okay, my nephews are toddlers. Let me rephrase how I say these things. My nephews are toddlers, so I've spent a lot of time with 2-year-olds recently. We babysit every day. So every single day I am babysitting, dealing with toddlers. So that could have something to do with my attention. It could, just for the record. 42. Oh, well, we're the same age. You're slightly younger. It's nice. Oh, yeah. See, it's time to leave. We're going to be slowly. This is me. It's me. It would annoy people, I'm sure. But yeah, so 42. Psh, 4V. It's 42. That's good. That's good. Thank you. Because like in my monitor screen, you can see more of me than I think you can see on YouTube, which I did on purpose. But yeah, anyway, that's kind of put a damper on it. But that is true. You're not seeing from me. Thank you for telling me that. I'm gonna need like all of that sort of guidance as we go through all of this. Okay, so I did wait because I wanted to see how old people were, but you might not have gotten to that part yet. You might still be in an old space of the video, so let me know. I'll come back and look at the chat later anyways, and see if anyone decided else to tell me their ages. It's fine if you don't, but it's nice to know if people get my references. I mean, even if you are my age, you may not get the more you know. With the, like, I'm picturing the rainbow, with the more you know. I'm picturing these things in my head when I do them. Sort of like the dare. Like, oh, dare to keep a kids off drugs. Dare to keep a kids off dope. Like, I have to do it. Dare to give a kid some help. Dare to give a kid some hope. Oh, help us. Dare. Were you not a part of Dare? Do you not relate to this? Because I was a part of Dare. So, yeah. I don't know what my demographic is. I guess people who can take it. That's my demo. People who can handle it and who will, you know, talk back and give me information. Be smart. I like smart people. I like people who are more intelligent than me so I can learn something. I don't want to be the smartest person in the room. I would worry if that were the case. So let's see. 43, 40, 56. Great. Yay. I'm so glad. I'm glad you guys are like adults. I mean, you could be lying, but I'm very pleased that you guys are normal adult age. That I'm not talking even to 20 somethings. Not that I don't mind 20 somethings. I just don't know that we relate to each other very much. Maybe we do. Maybe not. Oh well. Okay, I'm actually, this is me leaving. I am going to say goodbye and I'm going to try to press the end stream and I'm going to say goodbye, but I am going to come back and I have to remember right now, put the Coke down. Coca-Cola, not drugs. I'm going to put the Coca-Cola down and I'm going to post on the community post. So really though, this is like what I'm going to do tonight. I want to relax. I never relax. I always am working on a project, but I posted my video yesterday and I did a live right now. So I am actually going to take a walk. I'm going to pray. I'm going to do some personal stuff and then I'm going to actually try to watch something on YouTube, possibly a documentary. So I'm going to put a post to get some ideas of who I should watch, what I should watch, you know, maybe one or two things. I plan on vegging out tonight. This is an exciting night for me. It's very rare that I force myself to not work. So, okay. All right, everybody. Bye.